This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin's fourth Home and Living show is set to go ahead. Police recover a young disabled Dunedin boy's e-bike and return it to his family. And New Zealand's first climate-safe house is among the many attractions at Dunedin's Home and Living show this weekend. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Simon Anderson. Dunedin's fourth Home and Living show is gearing up for a big weekend at Forsyth Bar Stadium. One of the highlights of the two-day event will be a celebrity cook-off.
Thousands are expected to flock to Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium tomorrow and Sunday for the fourth annual Home and Living show. A wide variety of stalls and attractions will be on offer from 9 a.m. tomorrow.
We've got Brett McGregor again back this year. We've also got Karina and Casey Bird, who were the MasterChef winners. We've got Hannah from Real Rad Food down to do some raw cake demos, so that will be absolutely fantastic. And on Sunday we've got Peter Wolfkamp here to answer all your DIY questions. And we've also got the Farm to Fork competition where 5 local chefs take on each other to be crowned the winner of the Farm to Fork competition.
Several show favourites are returning, including the Whitestone Cheese Fresh Food Show, the Drive South Motoring and Boating Zone, as well as a wide range of local and national exhibitors.
We've got a whole bunch of outdoor furniture with some really special deals. We've got our design team up and running with kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, lighting, fires, the whole lot for the interior of the house. We've got barbecues running all day, the kids all set up with our man Stan from the TV, so he'll be running the wee workshop.
A large selection of the show is dedicated to DIY, with stalls featuring experts in architecture, interior design, new home building and much more.
We can accommodate for serious DIY. We have a lot of install experts that can help with your kitchen and your bathroom, any small project, any big project.
Dunedin Venues Management Limited Business Development Manager Kim Dodds says the show will have something for everyone.
So when you come along tomorrow, don't forget to enter into the major travel prize offer that we have. We also have, that has just come out in the brochure, is a 2-for-1 offer. So you can come along for $10, get 2 tickets for $10.
In Dunedin, The South Today.
A coin toss has decided who of 2 candidates will fill the last remaining seat on the Queenstown Lakes District Council. The coin toss came after Glyn Lewis and AJ Mason tied with 2,183 votes after a manual recount of votes from the recent local body election. Initially, the election results had Mason, seen here on the left, 1 vote ahead of Lewis, seen here on the right. But after Lewis asked for a recount, they ended up neck and neck for the council position. So, 3 weeks after voting closed, a $2 coin was tossed to decide who would be the winner. Lewis won the coin toss and was congratulated by Mason, who later said he was confident Lewis would do a great job. He also added he was looking forward to spending the next 3 years ringing Lewis about potholes in the road. The story of a former Syrian refugee boy who had his e-bike stolen has had a happy ending. Dunedin police returned the missing bicycle to Qasim Zaza yesterday afternoon.
Wondering what happened to the $3,500 electric bike given to him by the Halberg Foundation only a few months ago. Qasim Zaza says the expensive bike was taken from the backyard of his family home in Pine Hill on Tuesday.
I just came home from my school and my brother went to my friends and I just got outside to get him and my bike. And I looked around and I didn't find my bike.
Bridget Meyer of the Halberg Foundation says the bike gave Qasim some independence to hang out with his friends.
Qasim had expressed an interest earlier in biking, so it was just a matter of finding a way that we could purchase a bike, and through the Halberg Foundation we have an activity fund that allows families and individuals to apply to for either sports equipment, lessons or school camps. So it fitted really nicely with our funding criteria.
The same attack in Syria 6 years ago that took Kasim's leg also killed his father and 3 of his siblings. Part of the reason Kasim was given the bike was because he was getting exhausted, only having crutches to get around.
I think it allowed Kasim to have some freedom, as a lot of kids in New Zealand have. You know, you often see them biking around the street, so we wanted Kasim to have that experience, to be independent, to get himself to and from school, be able to bike with his mates, play sports, just all the things that bikes allow kids to do.
Police say they found the bike at a nearby property and were able to return it to Kasim undamaged and with the lock still attached. Police say they're speaking to someone in relation to the theft. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Labour's Economic Development team was in Dunedin today discussing opportunities and challenges facing the city's economy. MPs Deborah Russell, Kitty Allen, Willow Jean Prime, Tamati Coffey and Kieran McNulty were hosted on the visit by Dunedin South MP Claire Curran. The group met with local businesses, business groups and decision makers. As part of the visit, the group toured 2 of the city's innovation hubs, Petri Dish and Innovate HQ. They were also given an update on the $1.4 billion new Dunedin Hospital project and met with Dunedin's new Mayor, Aaron Hawkins. The visit comes on the back of the announcement earlier this week of a combined $59 million of funding for projects in the city from the Provincial Growth Fund. New Zealand's first climate safe house will be among the many attractions at Dunedin's 4th Home and Living Show this weekend. Built mainly by Otago Polytech apprentices, the construction is a celebration of girl power using a mainly female building team.
A house fit for a changing climate. Visitors will be able to watch this eco-friendly house being put together during this weekend's 4th Home and Living Show at Forsyth Bar Stadium in Dunedin. The project is a partnership between the Otago Polytechnic and the Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust.
The build was put together to be predominantly built by women. It's to promote women to come into construction, and we started on Tuesday of this week.
There's still a lot of work to do on the house, with weatherboards to put up and plumbers and electricians on deck. Thompson says there'll be plenty for the public to see when they come to the Home and Living Show over the weekend.
We'll be here all weekend. Come along and see us, give us some support. We'll be predominantly working on the outside over the weekend, putting the cladding on so it looks like a house, but we will also be working on the inside as well.
Once complete, the relocatable building will be a 1-bedroom home, with eco-sensitivity being the key to its construction.
In terms of other sustainable materials, as you can see, the whole thing's built out of timber anyway, so that's a good thing for the sustainable build.
The final work on the house is to be completed at a site in Waitati to provide a home for a Blueskin resident. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, Southland leaders unite to prevent the closure of an important business, and we travel to Christchurch as public are finally allowed to re-enter the cathedral. See you after the break.
Larnach Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
No mai anō, welcome back. The leaders of the Southland region are planning to launch a campaign to avoid the closure of the Tiwai Point aluminium smelter. Invercargill Mayor Tim Shadbolt, Deputy Mayor Tony Biddle and Southland Chamber Commerce President Neil Makara met up recently to prepare a strategy for what they say will save the country.
Save Southland when we've got 1,000 workers on site and another 1,200 indirect jobs. We're going to see small businesses close as a consequence of this.
Honestly, we're fighting for fairness here. We don't want a payout from the government. We don't want people to think that this isn't something that we deserve. This is our community, which will definitely be affected.
The studies show that it could be between 4,000 and 5,000 people that are affected, and that could be the population loss overnight to Southland as a consequence of the smelter closing.
Others will be affected by this decision too. It's not just about Southland. We have one of the purest aluminium smelters in the world, and that is going to be gone, lost.
From a cynical point of view, that this is just an approach being made by the smelter to up the contract for their electricity. This is far more than that. This is a real threat. There's hundreds of jobs at stake, and we have to fight and resist and explain to the people the situation we're in.
We only want what's fair. It will definitely have an impact and a ripple effect to the rest of our country, and we need to hold on to what is the most significant thing to us in New Zealand, to the world, and that is the Tiwai aluminium smelter.
We should be proud of the New Zealand aluminium smelter, its greenness and cleanness, and being one of the most efficient producers in the world.
A North Otago family have climbed the steep hillside of Puketapu near Palmerston every day of October. Their hard efforts were to raise money for a good cause.
Yesterday saw the Hutchison family team complete 31 consecutive days of climbing to the summit of Puketapu to raise money and awareness for cystic fibrosis. Hannah Hutchison says the money raised in donations has far exceeded the original goal of $600.
So far we have raised around $8,000 to Breath for CF, which is a fund that gives kids with CF access to fitness equipment and sports fees.
The team included her daughter, 10-year-old Sophie Hutchison, who has cystic fibrosis, and most of the family's climbs over the month were accompanied by other supporters.
The community has been awesome and we've had heaps of people come with us, and today we've got the whole of Rapite School up here.
Hutchison says she got to enjoy the climb over the last month. In Dunedin, the South Today.
It has been several years since people in Christchurch have seen a glimpse of the cathedral without a large fence around it, but members of the public were recently given their first chance to go behind the fence of the earthquake-damaged building.
So today was our first Behind the Fences tour, and we're very excited to be able to take members of the public through behind the fences so they could get up closer to the cathedral, something that they haven't been able to do really since the earthquakes. They heard about different elements of the building, different parts of the building, when the building was built, and about some of the damage that was sustained as well. We were really oversubscribed, and that indicates to us that there's a very strong interest in coming in, and I think everyone who attended seemed very, very interested and happy, so we're delighted.
The reinstatement project involves taking the building as it stands now and returning it to its former glory, but better. So the first step in that is what we're calling stabilisation. That involves making the building safe to enable workers to go into the building so that we can get in there and rescue what's left of the heritage items, and then also start the next stage, which is strengthening. So the strengthening will involve looking at each of the individual parts of the walls, if necessary taking some of it down, rebuilding it, reinstating it carefully. The end product will be that when you're standing here, what you'll see is a building that looks very similar to what it did before the quakes. But when you go into the building, it will be warm, it will be safe, it will be inviting. Lots of challenges along the way. The biggest one is the unknowns. We're dealing with a building here that's using 8th century technology. It's built up just of stones. And what we have to do is work out what happened to those stones to bring them up to 21st, 22nd century standards. We're looking at starting the stabilisation works after summer next year. That will take 12 to 18 months. Then we'll start on the strengthening and then the final fit out of the building.
After the break on the South Today, we have some new Dunedin property valuations and a retiring Dunedin music teacher documents her songs for perpetuity. See you soon.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Miller's Flat Bakery, proudly opening this Labour weekend after a long labour of love. The Restoration Trust has brought back to life this historic part of the main Central Otago transport route. Come see the only wood-fired bakery oven in New Zealand. turn off at the Miller's Flat Blue Bridge and bring the whole family to enjoy some tasty fresh baked goods the old-fashioned way, before electricity. That's the Miller's Flat Bakery opening Labour weekend.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
When we arrived at the harbour there, German planes were starving the fishing boats that were trying to flee. Often wonder what would have happened if we had managed to escape.
Memories of Nazi-occupied Holland, Sunday at 1 p.m.
Thanks for staying with us. The latest rating valuations for Dunedin properties will be arriving in letterboxes of homeowners next week. Over the past 3 years, Dunedin has seen an overall increase of 30% in capital value and an even higher rise in land value of almost 50%. This means an average house in Dunedin is now worth $470,000. Every 3 years, Quotable Value revalues properties within Dunedin for rating purposes. The changes in value do not automatically mean rates will go up. Homeowners' rates bills won't be affected until the middle of next year. Dunedin songwriting teacher Natalie Yeoman has finally published and recorded some of the many songs she created during her career. The George Street Normal School teacher realised if she didn't write down and record the songs, they might be forever lost to the next generation.
Leading a class of George Street Normal School pupils with one of her self-penned songs, Natalie Yeoman started off teaching general classes, but for many years has specialised in teaching Te Reo Māori, plus a huge range of other activities.
I do the school choir, the senior choir, which is about 50 children, and I lead the Kapahaka group, which is about 80 children, and I've done that now for about 12 years. And I do music projects, write shows for the school, music assemblies and things like that.
Yeoman estimates she's composed more than 100 songs as teaching tools, of which 17 have recently been published in a music book and recorded onto compact disc.
Some of them I've written especially for the teaching of Te Reo Māori around the school, so that's why some of them are very childlike songs for junior children. Some of them are more complex and more elaborate. So teaching of language, Māori proverbs, whakatauki, and local legends. So different songs for different levels, but having said that, a lot of them have become popular right through the school.
She says the songs are effective for teaching, with the lessons within the songs staying with the pupils for life.
It provides a really fun way of learning so that children come to Te Reo lessons and have fun, and that's really important because you want everyone to have a positive attitude towards it and become more inquisitive and more interested in what they're doing, and so music's a great way of doing that.
Having had some health issues over the past few years, Yeoman says she'll retire at the end of this year, spending more time with her grandchildren and some more musical projects. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Dunedin's 4th Home and Living show is set to go ahead. Police have recovered a young disabled Dunedin boy's e-bike and returned it to his family. And New Zealand's first climate safe house will be among the many attractions at Dunedin's Home and Living show this weekend. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Barry Stewart. Kia ora, Barry.
Good evening. The Cockleshell building, which was at the heart of the Harbourside development, well, that seems to have been put on ice, obviously because they didn't get enough funding for the project, but we have more detail about what the plans are and reaction to that again. A warning from a grieving Dunedin widow, and she warns about the use of potting mix after her husband died whilst doing that. So it's that time of the year, and of course those warnings are out there, so it's all very serious. The big story in the weekend mix, lots of good reading in the paper tomorrow. The big story is a celebration of 40 years behind the lens. Stephen Jackery, ODT photographer, he's been behind the lens of the camera for 40 years. We have published a book celebrating some of the highlights of his career. So that book, with a little plug for us here, that book is available for sale at the home show tomorrow. So look out for that. It's a great publication, but some good reading in the mix about some of the people Stephen photographed through his career, and we've caught up with them and to see what they're doing now. So that's a nice sort of look back on some of the newsmakers of the day.
Lovely.
So that's a big story, and of course the other big story tonight is the Rugby World Cup. So we have that magnificent playoff for third place between the All Blacks and Wales. So we will have that in the paper tomorrow, all going well. And then looking ahead to the World Cup final, so we'll have a good preview of that and all the other sports action around the place.
Brilliant. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, there's a very warm weekend ahead for the southern districts. The weather's mostly dry and sunny. Down south, everyone can look forward to the fine weather with moderate northwesterlies. Along the coast, Balclutha and the Catlins share a high of 23. It's slightly warmer inland for Gore and Lumsden, both reaching 24 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes region, Queenstown and Wanaka and Alexandra are all in for fine weather with moderate northwesterlies and a high of 24 or 25 degrees. A bit cooler in Te Anau with freshening northwesterlies and increasing cloud and a high of 21 degrees. Up to the northern towns along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect fine weather with moderate northeasterlies and a high of 22 degrees. Further inland, Omarama and Twizel are also set for fine weather with moderate northwesterlies and a hot 27 degrees. In Dunedin, you can expect cloud to clear tonight with an overnight low of 7. It will be much warmer tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and light northerly quarter winds, a high of 24 and a low of 13. It'll stay mostly sunny on Sunday with moderate warm northerly winds and a high of 24 and a low of 14. In Invercargill, it'll be fine tonight with a low of 9 degrees, warmer tomorrow with sunny periods and some high cloud and moderate northwesterly winds, a high of 24 and a low of 13. It'll stay fine and warm on Sunday but with high cloud increasing and northwesterlies freshening, a high of 22 and a low of 13. That's the news this Friday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.